Nicole Riley, evidential medium. A client recently wrote into me, and I thought it was a really good question that I wanted to share with everyone. They said, how do I keep connected to the spiritual domain and continue to believe that my past loved ones are still with me? I think that that's a really great question, because she goes on to say that she feels extremely lonely here on this planet without them. And knowing that they are near is such a comforting thought. I think that we can all relate to that because, as she says, it just helps her through the day, knowing that they're around. I often feel like what happens throughout our lives is, when we have someone that we love, that we have lost through transitioning, it often feels like, there's a sense of them being around, but they're not there to put your arms around, to hug, to love on. And, when I tap in and talk to my guides about this, they always encourage me to encourage you to just continue to believe, right? Belief, right? It's a really hard topic to even talk about belief, because everybody has different beliefs, but I need you to consider being true to your beliefs, right? So when you believe that you have spirit near you, or when you believe that you feel the presence of spirit, could you imagine how disheartening it must be to be in the spirit world and feel like you're connecting in with the person that you love so much, and then they're like, oh, I don't believe it. I had this sign, and cardinals, it's universal. Everybody believes in cardinals, and I don't know, they keep flying around me, but I just don't believe that it could possibly be my. And to me, that is so sad that we doubt this, right? I understand your doubt because we can't see it. Sometimes we can't feel it. We can't put our arms around it. We can't hold it. It's not tactile. So there is this belief system that is flawed because of it. I totally understand. But I'm asking you to consider standing stronger in your belief. Okay? I know that so many of you feel so lonely from the loss that you've experienced. I understand that as well. I really do. And I know that being here right now in this world is very difficult because, I don't know, maybe I'm old school, but it's just not the way it used to be, right? So there's a lot more self-centeredness and ego in this world. And so it is hard to connect with other people. I understand that as well. But I ask you to do one of a few things. First of all, I always ask that my clients consider meditating is so important. So I always ask that you consider meditating. And even if that just means for you, meditating maybe just sitting in silence. Sit in the silence. Set an alarm if you have to. Put it on your to-do list. Sit in the silence. Sitting in the silence is so powerful. As soon as we allow our thoughts to dissipate, all the thoughts of the things that need to enter into our mind to get the job done for the day, allow those things to come in, and then just allow them to go away, and just sit and listen. It doesn't happen instantaneously. People say, I can't connect. Well, how many times have you meditated? It's practice. You have to practice. And once you start practicing and sitting in meditation, you'll begin to feel like you're feeling other things, hearing other things, hearing from your loved ones. And then your job, if that wasn't hard enough, is to believe what you hear. Okay? Real important. All right. Second thing I want to say is, find a group, find a community, find people that you resonate with. Okay, if maybe it's a grief support group, maybe you've tried that and that doesn't work. Find other people. Start your own, right? Don't give up. Talk about your experience. Talk to people about your loss, right? Some people don't want to hear about your loss because they just can't handle it because they have so much going on in their own lives. But at the same time, there are people who want to talk about this because they're experiencing their own loss as well. The important thing is to not allow yourself to go down that rabbit hole of loss with someone else, right? This is an uplifting experience, right? So when we experience loss, of course it's devastating. of course there's this downward spiral. But when we have acknowledged that there was a loss, there's nothing that I can do to change it. The only thing that I can change is myself. That's the power behind a death of a loved one. That's the power. That's the gift that they're trying to give us, is the knowingness that comes from the fact that things now are changed, which means you have to change because they have changed. And the best way to change is for you to dig deep and go really inward and really take a good look at you and how you live your life out loud. That is the change that they wish to instill in you. So going back to the subject of how do we keep connected to the spiritual domain, it all comes from here. It all comes from inside. It all comes from inside of you. If you want to connect into the spiritual domain, start with yourself first. And when you feel like you have a really good, ability to connect in with yourself and you're really feeling yourself, spread that love, bring people towards you. Sometimes it's hard to go find it, but a lot of times it's easier if you bring people to you. So start speaking about what's going on in your life, sharing it with other people, right? That is my advice to you. So I hope that helps. And continue to send me your questions because I love answering these questions for all of you here. All right, everyone, have a great week. See ya.